welcome to this week's episode of Work the Left Side. It is a hype show for this weekend's upcoming 1PW show in Lincoln. It's a bit further to venture than Doncaster for us, but we will be going. And yeah, man. So Ash, welcome. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, man, should be good. Looking forward to seeing quite a few names on the card. Sorry, I've got the card on my phone over here, so that if I'm doing this, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, man, it's just like obviously there's one standout match which obviously I think has sold the majority of the tickets.
Rounds up.
That's the one. But the card itself, man, yeah, you got Davey Richards on there, John Morrison, Taya Valkyrie, Rascals, as well as obviously a shed load of awesome British talent as well, going up against these guys. So Haskins is obviously there.
Yeah.
We'll go through the matches one at a time, kind of thing. So you'll see obviously the level of the British talent there, as well as the imports. So you've got the card. What's the first match? Obviously, these aren't going to be in order. We don't know what the match order is.
Yeah.
But we'll just go through them.
I'll start and go down and then go to the other side and then top to the bottom again. So the first is Cara Noir versus Davey Richards.
Yes.
Which I think could be a strong contender for match of the night, but it probably won't be in the end because we all know who will steal the show.
But depending on what you want out of a match, it could be a match of the night for some people, I suppose. Because I've got a feeling it's going to mostly be very technically sort of sound. Cara's absolute boss. And Davey Richards, man, again, we've talked about TNA before back in the day. I remember the American Wolves. I remember Davey's singles run in TNA. The guy's just solid, man. He's great foundations, technically spot on. And yeah, this should be an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, dude, I popped for this because they announced Davey Richards on the Tron at the last show, right? In Doncaster, as part of the show, they announced it, and I was just like, hell yes. Yeah, I've been a fan of his since the old TNA days, the Wolves days, like you say.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a great wrestler, and Cara Noir is just a spectacle. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two worlds clash together and seeing what they can deliver.
Obviously, any 1PW fans who was at the last show saw Cara go against Christopher Daniels last time round.
Yeah.
An absolute banging match. That was a contender for match of the night.
Yeah.
And, just that entrance and just everything about it is going to be absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to overly hype this match up too much. I think it's pretty much is what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be a banging match. I don't think we'll be disappointed by this one. So what's next on the list?
So John Morrison versus Nathan Cruz. With his friend Matt Myers, his accomplice Matt Myers in the background.
Matt Myers, yes. Not Chuck Wood, Matt Myers.
The mouthpiece.
But again, the egos collide on this. I thought it would be Morrison versus Haskins, but obviously they've got another line for Haskins to go down. So I think they've kind of incorporated in a hardcore killer character for Haskins, which we'll discuss on his match. But yeah, Nathan Cruz, I said on the last episode that we talked about 1PW, anybody's built to work American, it's Cruz. The guy just fits the style so well. He looks the part. And yeah, this is going to be sort of, you've got your high flight, you've got Morrison, everybody knows. It'll be nice to see him live. I think he's one of those guys that will just radiate in person. You'll kind of get that superstar aura from him when you see him and just be like, God damn.
Yeah, for sure. I respect his work, but I've never been like, I can't wait to see John Morrison personally. But like seeing that in person could change that, seeing the Starship Pain with my own eyes will be like, oh shit, brother.
Yeah. But, I don't think TV does him justice. And we had RJ Sting on a while ago, and he wrestled him years back at Southside, I believe it was. And one of the things he said was, if you just see him in person, he's just legitimately like the most beautiful man you'll ever see. So I'm just expecting women and men just to slide off the chairs, when he comes out.
I was watching an interview with him on, Chris Van Vliet, I think that's how you say his name, the journalist interview guy. And I was just sat there basically. John Morrison was talking, but I wasn't really registering what he was saying because I was just like, you are a very handsome chap.
God damn. So, but yeah, Nathan Cruz, I say he works. I think you'll get the speed, high flying against the sort of grounded style of Cruz. So I think it's a good clash or good mesh of opposites.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Expect Myers to run a bit of interference, do his bloody deeds. And basically, so popped for this. I think obviously Morrison's other half has got a match as well on the card later on.
She has, yes.
It's
but
So,
but the real question is, what's John Morrison going to change his name to for the show?
Is it going to be Johnny PW?
Johnny One? I don't know.
Can't be Johnny Doncaster, can he?
Johnny Doncaster. Johnny Lincoln. That sounds.
Johnny Lincoln.
That sounds terrible, but I like it. Yeah.
So what's the next one?
Could be good. So the next thing on the card was the special appearance from Ulf Herman. So not a match, but he's next. He's next on the card. So I'm expecting maybe.
I would expect shenanigans on this. I think it'll come out. Obviously, do sort of a nostalgia speech talking about P-Dub back in the day.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if Iceman doesn't come out, or I can't remember the name of the group, but they kind of jumped the
Damnation.
Damnation, that's the one.
I was going to bring them up. Yeah, I'm glad you did. Yeah.
I've got a feeling they'll come out and just kick 7 shades of shit out of Ulf.
Yeah, the Irish guy did like the 15-minute promo.
That's what. Yeah, it's a little bit too long last time, but I suppose it's planting seeds. Hopefully, then we get to see Liam Slater come out as well. I think obviously, with the important thing is the planting of seeds, the progression of story now to get people to keep going to shows. So obviously, people want to go to shows to see good names, but you also want to get emotionally involved in storylines. Exhibition matches are great, but they're not going to keep me coming back all the time. Storyline's going to keep me coming back moments.
Yep, sounds perfect to me.
Which I think was Damnation's going to be key for. I think these are the guys that are going to start running roughshod.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see if they turn up in Lincoln. I'm sure they will. So we'll have to find out.
Right, so after Ulf and his entrance of fire.
So we've got the All or Nothing triple threat match between Session Moth Martina, Ruby Soho, and the Liver Beard, Lizzie Evo. That was the worst Scouse accent I've ever heard, mate. Do it again. Do it again.
So obviously you'll be in Lizzie's corner for this one, I would presume.
Absolutely,
being a fellow Liver Bird.
Yeah, man. She's boss. Been following her on Instagram a lot, watching the matches and progress. She was in Manchester the other night, winding everybody up. She had, can't remember. I think it was like "Fuck Manchester" come up on the Tron or something. Loads of fun. It was right, lads.
As any true Scouse Manc rivalry should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anytime. And then obviously you got Session Moth, who we saw at the last show. So we'll get a good 5-minute little party going on at the intro. And then after the dance bollocks, we'll get some punk.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Looking forward to seeing Ruby. She's cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Obviously, we got Jamie Hayter last time, which was an awesome replacement. But yeah, she was scheduled to be at the last show. Wasn't able to make it due to surgery on the snows. But yeah, she's obviously penciled in for Lincoln and for Doncaster next time as well for April. So I believe this match has got a stipulation of it's something all 3 of these women are going to be challenging for the women's title in Doncaster. And I believe whoever wins this one gets an advantage in the next match or something along those lines, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm sure I read something like that. If I've just made that up, I apologise. But yeah, I'm pretty certain it's got a stipulation for Doncaster in a couple of months as well, this match. So
well, you'd probably think that Ruby gets the win because A, she's the bigger name, and B, she's already been announced for the next show. So
yeah,
that tells you, yeah.
But I
Maybe.
think all three are going to be the next show as well. And it's just like they'll have a rematch from this, but with a different spin on it for whether it's like a gauntlet next time or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, they're going to be crowning a women's champion in April on the back of this match as well. So yeah, man, fingers crossed. I think Ruby's very, very cool. I was always a fan of her in WWE. She's had her moments in AEW.
Yeah.
I think possibly the surgery set her back a little bit, and she's been out of the loop. But yeah, obviously she's heavily involved at the minute with the whole Saraya, Toni Storm, Britt Baker storyline.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see somebody in the spotlight on TV.
Yeah,
you know, over here as well.
She's a great worker, but I feel like she just kind of gets lost a little bit because she's not the most loud speaker or the most, confident speaker. So I think she's a very nice person, and that kind of shines through with how she speaks. But yeah, she's great. I'm still looking forward to seeing her very much. So yeah, it'll be
a banging match, no doubt about it. And if you get to see Ruby doing a little bit of a techno dance with session, I'll
as long as we get some "you Scouse bastard" from emanating from the crowd.
I'm sure we will, especially in Lincoln.
Yeah.
I don't know what the relationship's like with Lincoln and Liverpool, whether it's close by or what, but
I haven't got a clue.
Sure, I'm pretty certain everybody outside of
it. She loves that. She loves that shit anyway, so it's all good.
Oh, that's it. So right,
doing a job.
Fingers crossed. We're not sat there. I'm pretty certain last time we was there, I don't know whether it was her entourage or fans. There was some great gobshites behind us last time.
There was some guy from Birmingham behind us that just kept talking loudly, obnoxiously through every single match.
Yeah,
so if he's there, I'm not going to be pleased. Or at least hope he's sat on the opposite side of the room. But yeah, Scousers.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So yeah, what's next?
Right, so we've got Taya Valkyrie versus Taunga. I hope I said that correctly. Probably didn't.
She's another one that's big on the British scene at the minute. I'm pretty certain I've seen her name popping up in Progress, as well as other places. So this will be a good showcase for her.
Was she on the last show?
She did a run-in and kicked the shit out of, I think it was Mickie James or Session. She kicked the shit out of somebody, I can't remember.
I seem to find familiar, but I wasn't 100% whether she did or
she did a run-in. I'm pretty certain she kicked the shit out of Mickie, which is why then Session came out. The ring with Mickie, didn't she? A little celebration. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I think she Session came out to help Mickie against the kicking. So memory's a bit vague on that one, but yeah, I'm certain that's what it was. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm an idiot. I will welcome it if you can correct me. So yeah, obviously Taya, it's a big name. I think she was voted in the top 10 women's wrestlers of this year for whatever publication, might have been PWI.
Yeah.
So she never quite made it in WWE as Frankie Monet, I want to say it was.
She was there for like less than a year, dude. She didn't even get a chance. But yeah, she's great.
I think it's because they let Morrison go that she just kind of walked each other.
Maybe so, yeah. But it was just a case of Vinnie Mac's crazy firing everybody rampage, wasn't it? Really. She was one of many casualties for that. But that doesn't make her any less good. She's great at what she does.
Definitely not. Yeah.
She's back in Impact now with a stable. I forget the name of the stable now. It's like with Rosemary.
Yes.
And I want to say another kooky dooky freaky deaky woman with makeup on. I forget the name of them now. Forgive me.
Yes, I know you're on about. I've got bollocks. It's kind of like split personality style thing. If I think it is.
Let me just have a quick Google.
But yeah, Kai, man, she's boss. I'm glad to see her back in Impact. I need to get back on back into watching Impact on a more regular basis. I try and keep myself in the loop, but unless it pops up on something, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
I follow the socials and watch that as much as I can. I wish I had more time to designate to more wrestling, but with work and family, and you know how it is, mate.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's just one of those things. You can actually sign up to the. I was looking at the Impact YouTube channel the other day, and you can sign up to it for all the like the weekly episodic stuff for like $1 a month. So I might do that.
Really?
Might
Awesome.
do that. And then for $5 a month, you get the special shows, the pay-per-views and stuff like included. So that's dirt cheap, really. So I might do that. Give me a bit more incentive if I'm spending money.
Well, so if you pay for it, you're gonna watch it, aren't you? So...
Yeah, I just have to remember because I don't subscribe to anyone on YouTube just yet. But hey, so I'm just trying to find this stable's name before we move on. I can't find it. Oh well, let's just move on.
It looks like it's
yeah, it's all good. I tried and failed.
Right, what's next?
So next on the card, tag team match: the Rascals versus Man Like Derace and Leon Slater, which should make for a pretty good match.
It should make for a damn good match. I can't remember the tag team's name. Ryan knows. Ryan's mentioned them before, but yeah, Man Like Derace and Slater are tagged on a regular basis on certain shows with certain promotions. So yeah, they're an established tag team in the UK, and obviously the Rascals are the Rascals.
I'm looking forward to seeing Derace and Slater for sure. There were highlights at the Doncaster show. Derace definitely.
Derace is Derace and Slater, man, they're both just stars on the rise. And whenever WWE does crack back on with NXT Europe, I would expect to see these guys getting signed personally. But yeah, I think it's going to be probably second. I think these guys have got the work cut out from knowing that you've got Robbie X and Ospreay later on.
Yeah, for sure.
I think this will be a very flippy match, but I think they'll have to channel flippy dippy tag team maneuvers into it to make it stand out.
Yeah, for sure.
Ospreay match is going to be, the milestone high flying match. So
yeah, absolutely. Not gonna lie, when this match was first announced again at the last Doncaster show, I was a bit like, really? Because the guy got fired from NXT for, doing dodgy things. Won't go into it, but, I was a bit like, really? But, like, that was still fresh, quite fresh in the memory. And whatever, just kind of... From what I've heard, he's not an arsehole. From, like, many wrestlers that know him and stuff, he's not a douchebag. It was just literally taken out of context. And that does happen. And, we have to believe that people can learn from mistakes and better themselves. Otherwise, what the fuck are we doing? So,
no, exactly.
I am now fully looking forward to this match.
It's always nice to hear, somebody's not an arsehole, basically. So it's nice it's refreshing. And, it makes you look forward to it a little bit more because you can actually enjoy everybody being a part of it and just go in there. No negativity, no shade, just be like, yeah, I'm going to watch this match. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think all four guys will come out of it looking absolutely fucking boss. Everybody's got to get the time to shine. And I would like to think at some point, obviously, they've announced they're doing the women's title at the next show, that they will obviously do a tag team title at some point as well.
Yeah.
And I would like to shout out to Slater and Derace as potential tag team champs. First next generation 1PW tag team champs.
Sounds great to me. The Rascals have already been announced for the next show as well, haven't they?
Oh, have they as well? Oh, okay.
I think they have. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm quite sure I've seen their graphic pop up recently, along with Leo Rush and Lance Archer last night.
Oh,
and, shit. Mine's gone.
Okay, that's okay. I've been out of the loop on socials recently. I've not really been keeping up to track with like announcements and stuff. But that's awesome. I'd heard about Leo. I didn't know about Lance. That'd be another guy that when you see in person, you're just like, oh fuck, TV doesn't do them justice kind of thing. He's huge.
Huge. As long as As long as Leo Rush doesn't retire before the show.
If he does,
Okay.
I'm sure he'll come out of retirement again. It's fine.
I just had to get that in there. guy's incredible at what he does, but like, you know, he's retired about 5 times now. It's kind of a joke.
I think he makes Flair look consistent.
Yeah, Terry Funk is looks an amateur in comparison.
So yeah, hopefully then, maybe then, if that's the case, next time in Doncaster they'll crown, they'll do like just a title show and have tag titles, women's titles, world champion, start putting belts on people so they can start building storylines around them. But yeah, this match will be Boss, and then, you know, maybe we'll get the rubber match next time round in Doncaster. We get a triple threat tag title match. That'll be all right.
Hell yeah.
What's next on the card?
So the match we're all waiting for, basically, it's Will Ospreay versus Robbie X. This is going to be Trampoline Central, and I am here for it.
Trampoline Central on a hard ring, no doubt. Just not to besmirch
no, not at all, mate, not at all. I'm just that was my little piss take of all the social media comments. Social media comment sections that are just like anti-Bucks and that kind of style.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be. Obviously, Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay. I think it's a fucking huge name to have on a 1PW show. It's nice to see him, you know, back in the UK. Hopefully, he's recovered from the Kenny Omega match, because that was
he's had a few matches since then, I believe. I'm not going to sit here and say that I watch all of Japan. I just watch the notable shows. So I do think he's had a few matches since then. I still think he lives in England, you know. So he's literally been traveling the whole time. He's been in Japan. He's been traveling there and back for shows specifically, which is just crazy. So yeah, fair enough. Mad respect. So yeah.
And obviously Robbie X is Robbie X. He's the 1PW alumni. Anybody who follows Robbie on socials will know. He stated, you know, he started training at 1PW. He's posts pictures of him as a kid at 1PW shows the first time round. There's pictures of him with like AJ Styles when he's like 11 or 12 or something. But yeah, the guy is phenomenal. And well, so that was kind of just thinking AJ Styles. But yeah, Robbie X is phenomenal, and he's definitely a 1PW. I can't think of the word. Not old school, but he's pure 1PW in the sense. As much as you can be working at other promotions in the country, if anybody shouts 1PW to me now, out of this new generation, it's Robbie X.
How has he not been signed by like?
I don't know, dude.
Like a big American promotion. It's wild that he's still independent. But yeah, this is going to be fucking tremendous, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And maybe this will catch the attention, because it is with such a big name in the scene. It will catch attention of people within bigger abroad companies and stuff. So
yeah. I mean, I know he's on New Japan's books, because obviously they did some shows. I think after Doncaster last time he went, the next night he was wrestling for New Japan when they had their UK shows. They did a weekend kind of thing where FTR versus Aussie Open was on the same night as 1PW. And then the night after they had another show. And I know Robbie was on that. So he went from W to New Japan the next day. So he's on the books. He's making impressions. And when they're over here, they're using him. So it's just a case now of getting him over there, which I think will happen a lot sooner than later.
Hopefully so. That would be amazing to see more British talent going abroad and smashing it.
Definitely. I mean, I'd love to see AEW take a shot. You know, I mean, no offense to Kip, but they signed Kip Sabian. They did have like a brace of British talent when they first started. Jimmy, DPS, who
didn't go very well. That did it.
Nope.
Unfortunately.
But yeah, man, I think they need a few new British guys in AEW just to sort of keep it looking fresh. Have him turn up just for a TNT Open Challenge or something. I don't know. Robbie X versus Samoa Joe, Bosh. There we go.
Hell yeah, man, that'd be good. Yeah, you have to think when the AEW UK show finally does happen that maybe a few of these names will appear on dark matches or like an elevation taping if one happens, or
Yeah, man, that's a good shout. Yeah, I'd like to see that. That'd be cool. So yeah, this is, as we sort of said before, potentially match of the night. I think they're gonna have to just have a really bad day not to steal the show. I think both guys are going to go out there adamant, to put on an absolute blinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this one. This is the one that I think sold the majority of tickets for me. I know you was in two minds about going to Lincoln until they announced Will.
Yeah, the distance is it's like a 3-hour round drive, which might not sound that much to any Americans that might listen to this, but it's a long drive, my man. It's a long drive. But yeah, as soon as Ospreay was announced, I literally jumped up out of my sitting position and was just like, "Holy shit!"
There we go.
So excitement happened.
Right, what's the next? Is it the main event next? Well, what we presume is the main event.
Exactly. Yeah. So what we assume will be the main event will be Rhino versus Mark Haskins with Vicky Haskins in his corner. So yeah.
The wonderful
Smash Mouth to finish the night off after some trampoline exploits in the previous match.
I think this is just going to be your sort of very hard hitting, technical. Haskins is definitely is one of the best in the country for just solid wrestling. I mean, the guy, he's wrestled at Madison Square Gardens for Ring of Honor against Bully Ray. He's no sort of, he knows the scene, he knows what to do, and I think he'll go out there with a guy like Rhino. I'm expecting this to be a very good, solid back and forth match, and that's the storyline I think they're working on that I mentioned earlier. Is the killer of hardcore, because at the Doncaster show he fought RVD. And obviously this time round he's fighting Rhino.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Yeah.
Two former ECW's hardcore legends. And like Haskins is obviously very technically sound, very I'd like to see that kind of as a character trait within 1PW, where he just dismantles, like just dismisses the hardcore legacy kind of thing. I think it's been done before. I think it's a good character thing. It's a good storyline where you just, you're proud to be a wrestler. It's all about, holds and transitions, none of this chair bollocks.
Grab a hold. Yeah, for sure, dude.
So it's the kind of thing you can imagine like a Doug Williams or Nick Aldis or, somebody like that doing. And I think Haskins fits that really well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's the guy can go. And again, why isn't he signed, or still signed? So I mean, the 1PW are making the most of these guys while they still are on, because they should be making some money, doing some things on maybe bigger platforms. Not to diminish what 1PW are doing, but that's just TV deals and such.
No, exactly. Like I say, Haskins was employed for a long time by Ring of Honor. It's just unfortunate that Khan didn't buy the Ring of Honor name and probably the talent. I don't know how it worked. Obviously, we don't know the backstage dealings, but you think when he bought Ring of Honor, he probably got the contracts of the people that was still signed to them at the time.
Yeah,
man. I think under AEW, again, to mention AEW, I think Haskins could have shone, especially with Ring of Honor. Whatever they have planned for Ring of Honor going forward, I think he could have been a key part of it.
Well, there's still time. You never know, because ROH doesn't really have a roster specifically, because it's like AEW. It's AEW talent just crossing over constantly, and likewise. So it doesn't have a specific roster. So maybe Haskins, maybe Robbie X. Who knows? They could end up being ROH talent when the TV deal and whatever is finalized and things are actually moving.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome, and it'd make him stand out as well. I definitely think it would give you something to get behind and root for. So, sure. But obviously, not really talked about Rhino. Rhino's Rhino. I'm old school. Oh, loved Rhino, man. Back in the day, he was easily one of my favourite guys. When did the whole Chitty invasion thing, Rhino was one of the highlights for me. Him and RVD, were two of the sort of, and Lance Storm, were sort of the spotlight or the shining lights, saving grace of that whole sort of thing. Loved him back in ECW. I'm still an ECW boy at heart. If you can maybe watch any wrestling from the late 90s, I'd always pick ECW. And yeah, man, I just think it's I'm kind of like looking forward to seeing him and just sort of seeing how he interacts and sort of goes in the ring now. I presume he's obviously still working in Impact. I know him and he had a tag title. I don't know if they defended or challenged for the tag titles, but I know they was involved in the tag title picture at the last special show.
The last time I really sat up and took notice of Rhino's name was when, probably going back like a year or so ago, it was the formation of Design. Is it Death by Design or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Eric Young and Cody Deaner and Joe Goering and Rhino. You still there, dude?
Sorry, dude. God. Sorry,
oh god, yeah. Your face disappeared.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
So yeah, that's all changed now completely. So that was probably a year plus ago. So I will have seen him on the Impact roundups and stuff that I watch on the socials and stuff, but I might not have just been paying as close attention as what you were.
That's it. But yeah, I mean that whole sort of thing, and obviously you had him and Heath cutting promos and doing stuff about just in Impact though.
I got kids. Heath's funny, man.
Going wrong, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's definitely going to be. I'm back.
Back again.
I'm making my phone vibrate. It's making my sand fall off.
No.
Bosh. Hey. Yeah, and that's the card. That's 1PW in Lincoln, match by match. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to sort of say about it.
Could have some surprises show up that haven't been announced, like D'Lo Brown, for example, at the last show.
Yeah.
Although he has been announced for the next show. So yeah, we could get some random uppings and some run-outs and maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see. Should be cool though.
He's part of the staff. On the back, last time he was in Doncaster, he had a staff T-shirt on. So
yeah, that's cool, man.
In some way, shape or form. So
you could do worse than have D'Lo around.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a seasoned vet. He knows what he's talking about, and he always gets a good pop. And that music.
I love his theme. Yeah, I was looking. You're looking at the real dude now. I remember having a WWF at the time. I think it was volume 3 or 4. It was all the entrance themes, and his song was on it. I listened to it a lot.
I think any true old school wrestling fan had those albums and slowly, mimicking the entrances as you was walking down the street with your headphones on.
Literally. Well, if you weren't putting those songs on and then walking into a room like you were the goddamn wrestler making the goddamn entrance, you'd live life wrong and you need to go back and do it again.
Refresh, restart, get it on. But yeah, that's it. That's the Lincoln show lineup. It's just a shortish episode this week, just to big up 1PW, go through the matches, and for you, if you're watching this pre 1PW, we'll see you there. If you see either of us, say hi. If you want to buy us a drink, we won't say no. And then jobs are good. So Mr. Ash, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
It was my other half calling me, so I will tend to wrap this up to see what she wants. So I'll get shouted at.
Oh good, man, oh good.
Because a happy wife is a happy life.
Something like that,
yep. Dude, obviously do your social plugs, do the Instagram thing.
So my personal is Tankle_Grimoire. If you're into extreme extreme metal music, then that's me completely. And obviously, I run the Work the Left Side Instagram page, so that's WTLS underscore 316. Friggin' hell, terrible.
And yeah, obviously on Twitter, WTLS420. That's myself, and we are on TikTok as well. Where Joey sort of just dick about and make highlight videos of Dynamite and Rampage. That's WTLS.
No
420 as well. So that's it. Jobs are good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no funny dancing. None of that TikTok bollocks. Just best, not me. Right. So yeah, Ash, thank you very much.
Oh, good, brother.
And we will see you all on Saturday.
Rounds up.